Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Dropped Frames. I'm JP McDaniel, joined by CohhCarnage and Zeke as always, and we brought yet again another asshole onto the stream. This time it's Gassy Mexican.
Sorry. It's horrible to be here, guys.
At least
stuck with me.
You're the first guest to just truthfully admit it, and that's all. You're an honest guy, Gassy.
Mm-hmm.
You're honest, and that's why we like you.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Except for when you screw up your link on Twitter for the show and then judge me.
You say screw up, I say
April Fools. I know.
I just say it was the right link, maybe. Like it's hosted over there. What do I care about Zeke's channel, right?
Right.
You
Exactly.
can
link, guys. God, why am I even here?
You're our pincushion, Zeke.
Apparently,
you always fall into that role. I don't know why. It's just. I like the chops though. I just realized that you're still going with the chops. I like.
You still got the chops, yeah.
I'm rocking it. You know, after the order and after Bloodborne, I'm just like,
yeah.
The time of the chop.
Yes.
The time of the chop. Ko, how you been, man?
Been great, man. Been great.
You guys, are you guys fans of April Fools? Do you like April? Do you like reading all the shitty stories?
I do.
It depends, because there's a horrible way of doing April Fools where you're just like, blatantly like, you're like a company, you're like, let's be funny and trendy. And then they just have like a horrible thing that not real thought has been put into.
Yeah.
Like the ones that like are actually kind of clever, I can be like, all right, I can appreciate what was done there. But for the most part, I don't really like it because it's mainly because of like just fucking stupid people on Twitter and stuff like that. Like
right.
stupid things that I see some of my friends do. And mostly it's other people, but sometimes, you see a friend and you're just like, God damn it, why did you do that?
Yeah. For a while, like, Blizzard does a pretty good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I don't, like, the corporate world has really it's basically a giant free marketing day to just, like, push out stupid stories about things that don't actually matter anymore. And then they get you on other stuff, I guess. I don't know if people actually profit from this stuff.
There is some cool stuff that can come from it, though. Because, like, did you guys see the April Fools from the Cities guys? You fire up their game and it says Sim City, CIMCITY now across the top instead of their normal thing. What was it? War Thunder. There's mechs now. You can apparently, I don't know how that works. Someone came in and said War Thunder's mechs. But I'd say the biggest problem with April Fools is the fact that you never know if anyone's telling the truth. And sometimes people come with like really bad things, or it's their birthday, and everyone's like, whatever, April Fools, and they're like, no, I'm serious, that really happened, or it's really my birthday, guys, or and it's like this real weird, awkward situation where you can't believe anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess we start with what we've been playing. Last week we ended on Bloodborne. I'd like to start with Bloodborne this week, and I've always hated hated that guy that comes in a stream and says this game's not that hard. The game's not that hard. I don't know if I'm like people say that I'm over leveled. I don't know how. I've just played the game. It's not like I've farmed souls, but I've 2 or 3 shot every boss, and I just killed. I'm only like 8 bosses in, so I just got to. Hold on, let me put the spoiler tag up for those that care. I was gonna start speaking, and then we'll just do that.
Spoiler.
What was the name of the boss? It's the giant spider boss that spawns little spiders around it.
Yeah.
I killed that on the second try.
What was your tactic? Did you kill all the little guys?
I killed all the little guys by side attacking them, and it killed them in one shot. And then I just killed the main guy and like spammed. I had 20 HP pots, and so I guess I went in with like the proper setup or something. But I don't know.
I think I made it harder on myself because whenever I play an RPG game like this, I always try and play like the mage, the magic user, and stuff like that. And I railed against that last time, but I still tried to stick to it. So I'm not using any like big heavy weapons. I'm using all the quick, like the cane sword whip and the sword now that I found that changes into a really huge sword. It now has like magic on it, so I feel like I can use it like Gandalf with fucking Glamdring or whatever.
Right.
So I kind of relegated myself to the smaller magey-ish kind of weapons, and it's taking me a bit longer to do that stuff, but I can definitely agree. Like, people come in like, what do you compare this to, Dark Souls? What the fuck?
What? No, Gassy dropped for a second, so we had it filled in with Steven. That's just.
Oh, okay.
That's production, ladies and gentlemen.
April Fools.
April Fools. It's Steven. It's Steven.
Surprise guest.
Yeah.
But when people compare them, I'm like, nah, it's not even close. It's Dark Souls was far more difficult.
Really? You think so? I mean, yeah, I would agree with you. Actually.
Yeah, Dark Souls is more difficult than even the way I'm playing it. It's not. It's really not even. It's like, if Dark Souls is a 10, this game is like 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, I'm still, I guess, early on. How many bosses have you guys killed?
I think I'm like 10 in.
Okay, Ko, what about you?
I beat the game today, killed every boss, and the only thing I haven't killed is the last Chalice boss, and the boss is up to it.
Okay. And what
but I
is
agree
your
with you.
Judge on difficulty?
I think that there was like, I one-shotted the first 2 bosses, and that was like, wouldn't have even been a thing in Dark Souls 2. Now, but then again, I'm not the best Dark Souls player, but definitely, I will say that there are definitely some attacks and some certain types of enemies that come off as really hard, but really they're just your kind of general really quick attacking or comboing mobs. And once you figure out how to beat them, it becomes easy. I'm a kind of a slow learner, so when I beat it today, I was donating the Death for Charity thing. I ended up dying 297 times when I finished everything. And granted, a lot, some of those were just fun deaths, but it was still a challenge for sure, but definitely not like Dark Souls from what I've played.
Yeah. I don't know why that is too. I feel like the roll mechanic is really forgiving in terms of getting out of attacks, and I feel like also the way to heal with the blood things, whatever they're called, is really quick. And like in the other games, it would kind of, I think Dark Souls 2, it would like charge up. It wasn't instant like it is in Bloodborne. I think that leads a little bit to making the game easier. But we say that as like it's a bad thing. The game's still fantastic. I think we all agree that we enjoyed the game, or still enjoy the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no doubt about that.
Without a doubt, yeah. No, it's still a fun game, and it still has like the environment is still like very much fleshed out, and you feel like you're a part of it, which is very, very important for a game like that.
Yeah, I just got to the like after killing whatever that stupid spider boss was. I got to the like other world. I still don't know what, like where you see the giant things hanging on the side of the walls, and you finally understand why like when you're just walking around in the other world where the space thing comes from, where they suck you up and it's just an invisible mob, and then this time you can actually see them in whatever that world is, the Yargol old city or some shit. I don't know, but I like that. I think that's really cool, and it looks fantastic too with the giant creatures just sitting on these buildings that are scary as fuck. Like the first time you see one after finally revealing itself in that room where you get ported after killing the spider boss, that was creepy as shit. Where the little baby says like, or where the person says you gotta go kill the baby or whatever the fuck that is. I don't know. I thought that was awesome. I also feel like the other hunters are the hardest mobs in the game, even more so than the boss.
Especially the ones that have really quick counters. Those, I mean, some of those were exceptionally hard.
Or the ones that come at you in a mob, like a group of them.
That's where I'm at the 3 of them right in front of or in the church in the new area.
I found
that one took me a while.
I cheesed those motherfuckers like you would not believe, and I'm not gonna tell you how I did it, but it was pretty goddamn.
They've killed me 3 times, or maybe more than that. They've definitely slaughtered me every time. There's been no fight on my end. I just get destroyed. And I think I think I know what I need to do in terms of where I need to pull them to, but yeah, those guys I think are probably the hardest mobs in the game, even harder than some of the bosses. I feel, just because they're quick and the AI is like super good in terms of how it responds to what you're doing. Like that one that you fight around the well, who would just constantly shoot at you no matter what you did, and would keep like a 5-yard range distance between you. That one was really difficult, I felt, to deal with, because you couldn't rush him because he would just shotgun you and destroy you. But I'm still enjoying the game. I feel like in terms of like Twitch, it's actually lost a lot of interest for a lot of people. I feel like the numbers across Twitch have just died completely for that game. At least for me. I don't know, Ko or Zeke or Gassy, what you guys think about it, but
Oh, they've certainly gone down. There's no question. They were hugely spiked for the first 3 days. And
I just jumped back.
Then,
sorry. What were you talking about?
No, you're good. You're good.
For Bloodborne.
We're talking about
still on Bloodborne. I just want to make sure you guys are still on Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the numbers were huge the first few days. They're still good. They're still absolutely good, but they're definitely not. They're reducing daily. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke, kind of same thing for you.
Honestly, it's been really good for me because of the build I'm going with. I fail a lot more than I'm assuming other streamers do. So, and I'm so stubborn and fucking pig-headed about it that I will keep like railing against, things that are difficult for me to beat because of this. Right. And I think it keeps people's attention because I learned early on in my life that it's funny when I'm angry.
I guess that's true.
Is it though? Because I watched the roast recently with you, and that was a point that everybody brought.
Yeah.
No, you're funny, smashing stuff. I don't think I've actually tuned in when you've smashed something before.
I just gotta bring this up real quick. It is my mic that is feeding back or making that white noise. So, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
Okay.
And I fixed my cracklies.
Yes.
I apparently had.
Yes. But yeah, Max, have you started? You streamed it the first night it was out, right?
I did. I streamed it the first night. I wasn't a part of I wasn't trying to rush. I don't typically try to rush to stream any particular game. But it was the night that it came out, and it was like a day before I was leaving for a trip to visit my family. So I'm like, I gotta play it. So I just streamed it for like 4 hours, and it was really fun. I didn't make a whole lot of progress because I got stubborn, and there's that big dude in the beginning, that you can either just fuck off and not pay attention to, or you can go down that alleyway and mess with him. I decided to mess with. It's towards the beginning. Say you spawn by the lantern. No, you spawn by the lantern, and then you go across, and then go down.
Yeah.
It's the armor
by
guy
that gate
on the door.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Well, no, it's not the guy beating on the door. It's the guy before that.
Guy.
He's closer to spawn.
Off to the right, when you unlock. It's right when you unlock the shortcut.
Dude with the big two-handed axe, with the black cloak.
Yes, you got it. So I fucked around with that guy entirely too long, and died a lot. And then I got stubborn, as you do. And this is my first any sort of this I've never played Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, any of that. This is my first foray into these sorts of games. And the reason why I wanted to play is because this one seemed like it was a little more accessible, not as punishing, still punishing, and it it's just plays smoother and stuff like that. And I like that whole Transylvanian sort of
I think the art aesthetic is amazing.
That was one of the big things for me. But I fucked around with that guy for a long time. For probably a good hour and a half to 2 hours. Not just him, but I'll come back when I'm stronger. I'll get more blood vials. I'll go farm some people.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a proper understanding of I used the blood echoes for currency, and I didn't know exactly that I could level up, and I could have bought armor for a long time.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of how that whole system worked, and just purchasing things and upgrading your dude worked. So I kind of got fucked up by him every time. And this last cast, I went for I don't know, I did Game of Thrones, and then I did Bloodborne for the end of it, and I finally popped my boss cherry, beat that cleric beast.
Nice.
Fucked him up. I think it's okay. You guys have played these games a lot more, but I beat him. I think it was my 4th total attempt on my 4th try.
That's really good.
I mean, you earlier were talking about this game ain't shit. It's really fucking easy.
I mean, I think I think I two-shot that boss, so it's pretty. I mean, 4 and 2. Those are close numbers. So I think it's just right up there with me.
Okay, when you were saying two-shot, I was like, "What are you talking about, two-shot?" That's
it's a weird terminology.
That's impossible.
I didn't hit him twice and he died. I cheesed the fuck. Are you? Is that the bridge boss? I guess.
Yeah, the bridge boss. That's the cleric beast with the giant arm.
Yeah, I fought the father before I fought the bridge boss.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said, I fucked the father before That's just what I heard. I'm sorry.
No.
I know.
But yeah, then you could actually cheese the father by if you fight him next to one of the gravestones or whatever. You might not. Are you even there?
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to say anything else.
I haven't encountered. I don't really care too much about spoilers because I've watched enough casts to see what kind of bosses I'm going to encounter.
Gotcha.
I don't really care so much about that.
Gotcha.
If it's something pivotal to the plot or something you think like, oh, I should just experience on my own or whatever. Yeah. That's whatever. But I've been watching enough streams to see the different bosses that I'm going to fight, and it's scary.
Everyone tells me the axe is overpowered. Do you guys, that's all I've used all playthrough, and everyone's like, oh, it's so broken. You got to stop.
The one you start with?
Yeah, one of the 3 starting weapons.
See, I never used that.
And what are you using?
I'm using the 20K right now, the 20K sword at rank 10.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
You at one point you unlock a badge that lets you buy it. So just check the store every so often after you progress, and it may be in there.
Gotcha. Is it just a slow, heavy swing? Like what?
What's really cool about it, it's a sword, but it has this giant sheath. And in two-hand mode, he slides it into the sheath, and then he uses that. So I actually use it in two-hand mostly, which disables the gun, which kind of sucks. Yeah. And causes people every 5 seconds to go, use your gun more.
Yeah, that's like the backseat. That's the roundabout of Bloodborne.
That's a whole nother thing.
I love it. So,
is that any better, guys?
A bit, maybe.
Maybe a bit.
I'm being optimistic. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit. There is still some. It's not.
It is a little bit better. Like it's nothing that's gonna bother me too much. The chat, they might just have to suck it up.
Yeah,
I'd rather hear your voice than not at all. You know.
Yeah. I might just have to get something new.
What real quick though, what is your guys' thoughts on the CohhCarnage? Because that's the next thing that I could buy. Has anyone used that?
I used it for 5 minutes. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm going back."
Not good. What was your qualms with it?
I used the CohhCarnage between my first weapon and the 20K sword, and I loved it. It's fantastic. I mean, once you get a few levels, which you can do pretty early, you can one-hit a lot of the trash mobs, which is really great. Once you get the timing down, you can just walk through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, because I've been using the pimp cane this entire time, and I was thinking like, I really like it, and I'm just trying to figure out if because I don't want to use it the entire game, you know, because obviously there's other weapons to be used and experience and stuff like that. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth it to go for the CohhCarnage. I know you have to have like 16 strength. Mine's at like 13 or some shit like that because I've been upgrading
Thankfully,
now. But
you get to a point
carried me through a lot of the game. Like
the CohhCarnage?
No, the pimp cane.
The pimp cane. I like the cane. Like I really love it. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth it to get off the cane.
See, Strippin started with the cane and actually restarted the game because he hated it so much. So maybe it's just like user preference. Yeah.
Restarted the whole game? You get another weapon pretty quick.
Yeah, well, I think it's because he built towards like that weapon. Like I feel he built Dex or whatever the Dex stat is. Yeah, and I think the game is just so strength focused, and maybe to discredit the game a little bit, where it kind of pigeonholes everyone into going that stat for the most part. And maybe I don't know enough about the game yet to say that, but.
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, I gotta say, like, I totally see where Zeke is coming from because I guess this isn't really a spoiler. You know, unlike the Dark Souls games where the magic system is spells and you actually get, early ones and you progress through like a parallel system to weapons, in this one, the magic is kind of like just an afterthought. You can get items that are continuous use spells that you can use, but there's no real main arcane weapon. There's, a few guns that kind of play with it, but it's really like there's a reason that Zeke's casts are so frustrating a lot of times. We get so angry because I mean his character would be spec perfectly for this stuff in a Souls game, but yeah, it's really unfortunate because it feels like almost a little bit incomplete without that side of it when comparing it to Dark Souls games.
Yeah,
and the weapon variety, even the weapon variety is. I mean, at the end of the game, I have all but 2 weapons, and I think there's like 14 total. I mean, in Souls, you have 14 weapon choices by the third through the game a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's kind of one thing I've been wondering because I haven't played the previous games and stuff, except for just like kind of playing it a little bit when Renee was playing it. Like, I just touched the game and had the sticks for a moment. But what's the biggest differences and maybe things you think are better or worse that they've improved with the game, or what maybe, like you said, with the weapons that they've left out?
You're asking like
the
what?
Big thing
in general, like what do you? Because I'm asking you guys. You've played Dark Souls, maybe Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and stuff like that. I haven't touched any of those games. So what do you think is good that they've changed with it, and what do you think that they maybe like you said with the weapons, anything more along those lines that they maybe should have kept in, or you're a little bummed that they took out?
The health system is really cool in this one. I gotta say, I like the double-digit health potions are kind of a routine thing, and it's really easy to store a bunch in your camp, so you can go out and farm up a ton of.
I didn't even know I had a camp.
So don't have to worry about it.
Until that was another 10 hours into the game.
But no, it's really cool because later on in the game you can spend 20 minutes farming up some stuff, completely max your potions, and then it's just a complete afterthought. You can focus on the game. You always have max potions every time you die. That you can, especially if you're doing chalice dungeons and stuff. That's really cool. Also, the mechanic of getting health back if you attack quickly after you're hurt.
I like
that. Almost makes the whole game feel different.
It might
than Dark Souls.
That might
it's really
also
kind of interesting.
help to the easiness of the game.
Well, yeah, it not only really does that,
but
also.
But whatever.
You're so fucking good at the game. I understand.
Yeah. I feel like if you get hit, the best response is to just spam an attack and get the HP back.
That's the thing.
But I've also died that way too.
Like, at core, though, that principle is so anti-Dark Souls. Because the whole thing about Dark Souls is you have to be careful and meticulous, and everything needs to be perfect and on point. But in Bloodborne, it's like if you get hit, a lot of times if you're close to the mob, your first reaction is just attack as fast as you can, attack. It's like you don't even think. You're just like, I need my health back.
Dark Souls, your health's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be careful. You have to be much more methodical in Dark Souls game. Where in Bloodborne, especially if it's a boss, if you're right on a boss's feet and you get hit, your first instinct is just dodge once, start attacking as fast as you can, switch to a light hit weapon, and go. So it's interesting, very different, but I kind of like it. It's more actiony and less kind of the tactical that Dark Souls is a lot of times.
Yeah, whatever the boss is that you fight in the chapel at the top, the giant, not the electrified giant werewolf, but the woman that turns into it.
The one with the wisps.
Spoilers.
The wisps
I'm
all
just
over
kidding.
the place.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
The vicar.
So I one-shot that boss. I didn't have any potions because I just kept attacking her, and it was just getting HP back. So I was literally just right next to her, and she swings to where she's at a medium to long range attack, and I just kept beating on her with the fucking weapon and never losing HP.
That is the one thing that needed to be changed. By the way, that's why I put this shit on.
Is that what you wear?
That's why I went through, I got the pimp cane.
Oh.
I'm trying to go through this game like a pimp. And I was slapping bitches down and slapping them with my cane. Anyway, but yeah, that was one of the worst, or not the worst, one of the biggest, drawbacks of the game was the bosses. I only had trouble with one boss, two bosses, maybe, so far. And I remember in Dark Souls, I spent hours, trying to kill other bosses and stuff like that. And I don't remember, I think there was, maybe two out of the whole lexicon of Dark Souls bosses that I went in one-shotted. And this one,
You might be right for me, too.
2 or 3 hits, man, or 2 or 3 tries, and it's done. And I love the design of them, but I think it comes from your life bar is really small, and I think could draw out the battles if your life bar was bigger, and the bosses took longer, or your hits did less damage on the bosses.
Yeah.
So you could the fights would be drawn out. It could be it give you a sweat while you're fighting them. Because I remember in Dark Souls, you'd build up your health bar as big as you could sometimes, just so you could stay alive long enough to, do enough damage to the boss. I don't know. Just my opinion, I guess.
Something I'm sure you'll love then, Zeke. Unfortunately, something I didn't know is the chalice dungeons don't level up with you. They're static. So I went back at rank 10.
I haven't done those
yet. I go back to rank 10 to do, because I need to farm one of the lower second chalice dungeons for mats. I kid you not, 4 hit the boss with power attacks. Every attack did over a quarter of its health. And it was a normal mob that just had more hit points. So it was 4 dodges and 4 power attacks. It was the quickest boss fight I'd ever done.
So I haven't done a single chalice dungeon. I don't really know what they are, but if I ask you if they're worth doing, is that a big spoiler? What do you get from them?
No. Well, here's the thing. First of all, there's an ultimate boss. Now, I'll start with what Max asked. The chalice dungeons are an optional, secondary, slightly randomly generated kind of instanced zone that you can summon using items in the Bloodborne world. Specifically, you get a chalice, and then you get some materials, and you can walk up to these gravestones and create a chalice dungeon. It actually has a seed key. You guys are familiar with RNG seed keys?
Right.
So Yeah, and the dungeons themselves, they're modular, they're component based. So you have like, you know, a square room that will connect to a hallway to another square room, and they'll be different every time.
Things that
and
can
then
all be randomized, yeah.
they have multiple floors, multiple bosses. Usually the last boss is kind of difficult, and there's a couple mini bosses on the floors before it. And they give you materials for future Chalice dungeons, and then they also give you, in some cases, like pretty good loot. So you can go in there and farm souls, you can farm, you know, ammos, potions, all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Maybe I'll do some of those then. How many are there?
There's well, it's kind of
seen like
weird
the row of gravestones or whatever, but I didn't count.
Yeah,
them.
well, those are just like places you can summon them. Like you can take a Chalice dungeon out and then remake it to get a different one. But you don't have to do all of them. It kind of depends on how quickly you get the components and how fast you move down the tiers. But there's probably 15 plus different types of dungeons you can make.
Oh wow!
But you can kind of skip dungeons as you move through, depending on how you get components. Okay. And I'm still figuring it out. Like I can't even craft the high-end Chalice dungeon yet. I'm multiple components off of it.
Huh. Well,
yeah, I saw that like that it was in my inventory as one or something that you could buy even or something like that. It said something about like Chalice dungeon, and it was
Ritual
like stupid expensive. Yeah,
you
and
can
I was
buy
like,
that
I don't know what the hell that is.
I'm sad that I waited so long. I did one Chalice dungeon, and it was kind of challenging, but I'm kind of sad that they don't like scale with you and that kind of stuff.
There are a couple Chalice dungeon bosses that are straight difficult. Like there's some of them that have, you know, like your standard giant guy, but he does like a 270 degree attack all the time, and he has weapons on his back. So whenever he swings forward, he hits everywhere behind him.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, the whole like just stand behind the mob and kick his ass. Dude, that guy took me probably 20 plus tries. Like he was a really tough boss, and I haven't seen him anywhere outside of a Chalice boss, and I've beaten the game.
Huh.
So yeah, there's some pretty unique stuff in there.
Yeah, check that out. Sounds like there's a lot of stuff, and it sounds like, and I haven't done them, so I guess Koyo or Zeke could answer this, but you think they could add more Chalice dungeons, like is a way to extend the game down the line?
Oh, absolutely. They could do an entire... I mean, the fact that they have that plugged into the main kind of home base zone, they could do an entire DLC of just Chalices they put in the world, entirely new content, new Chalice plugins, all sorts of things. But yeah, the short answer is, because they put that system in, they technically have an unlimited amount of DLC they can put into the game.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome if... And maybe they have this in the back end, but if they did like a Chalice dungeon, but they did kind of like how Spelunky does it, where there's daily rankings or like a daily challenge.
That's a great idea.
Where it puts everyone against that, and maybe they do it by like HP lost or time taken, or there's a billion ways you could rank.
You can even pick your challenge going in.
So a bunch of modifiers, man.
Yeah, you
least
could
amount of health, speed.
Yeah, maybe make it like score based, and you put modifiers in there if you want to like make the boss do more damage.
That's making me think like Magicka 2 now.
Yeah,
that has that kind of modifier system.
Yeah, who knows if they have that functionality built in? But that would be a cool way to keep the longevity of the game going, at least on Twitch, because you could get streamers to jump into it. But
that would be cool.
Who knows?
I have a website where they put the daily winners on the front page.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's
awesome.
A great idea, JP.
Especially with that community, like they would
more
eat that shit up.
Just that idea.
like the community of these Souls games, or we'll say Souls type of games. Like I could see everyone that has been a huge supporter of those games, like just jumping all over that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because eventually it I wouldn't say devolves, but the transition of like a Souls game is that everyone jumps on it like the first week or two. And then the people that continue playing start going into like the speed runs or the challenge modes that the community creates around it. So like the no souls run or the level 1 runs or the fist runs or something like that, where they just create this artificial difficulty within the game. So the developers created that and supported that. I think that'd be a cool thing. But who knows if they actually have that functionality.
Anybody try PvP yet?
I have not.
I'm nowhere near. I'm just exploring the game, man. Trying to get fucked up too hard.
Can you actively get invaded? Like, has anyone been invaded?
I think you have to. I think you have to allow for it. You have to like ring a bell, for people to be allowed to be invaded. I think I haven't tried it yet.
Interestingly enough, I've entered a few areas when playing online, and you'll see across the bottom of your screen that a bell is ringing. Someone is ringing a bell, and every so often you'll hear this ding ding, and every time that's happened, people in my chat have been, oh man, you're in a PvP zone, you're gonna get invaded, etc., etc. Nothing's actually ever happened, and there's a mob that's up that if you kill her, then another message pops up saying the bell has ceased ringing. And what I've been told is when you're ever in those situations where you hear the bell, if another player uses their item in that area, then they pop into your world as a PvP encounter. But I haven't actually seen it yet.
Huh. Okay. I haven't done any PvP. It's one thing I kind of miss from Dark Souls, just the random, even though it was a major annoyance when you were streaming,
yeah, right,
because
you're trying to do something.
Fuck you. It was still a cool thing that would happen where someone would just randomly invade your world. And you would die because of it. But
I always thought that was interesting, an interesting way of doing PvP. Because, like I said, I was pretty ignorant to these other sorts of games, but it would scare the shit out of me, and I wouldn't be ready for it.
yeah.
I'd fight back, but I'd probably die really quickly.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
I will.
Watching like Day 9, for example, when we streamed Dark Souls, he would just like put his controller down, just be like, "Kill me, get it over with."
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't even want to mess with this.
I'm done. Just get it over with.
I got progress to make.
Yeah. Cool. What were you gonna say?
Funny enough, in Dark Souls, I was gonna say in Dark Souls, I mean, some of my best stories came from PvP encounters, especially ones that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Like that it really added a flavor to the game that just wasn't there in Bloodborne.
Yeah. Zeke, I think you were muted when you were trying to talk. Did I miss that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Totally lost it.
Oh,
Totally lost it.
It's all right.
Well, you were talking about Day 9. I would do the same thing. I would do the same exact thing in Dark Souls. Like, I'd go to an area where people were, it's PvP area, and I'd see these guys like running around. I'd look at their gear and go, "Fuck this! Let's fucking do it." I'd honestly, I like do a gesture where it was just like lay down with my head on the block, like, go ahead, let's fucking do it.
That'd be interesting if they like added in that ability, like, where if you really don't even want to fuck with them, you just take your like sword or whatever, and you just like, you just kill yourself.
Yeah.
This is a giant fuck you.
That would be
Pull
awesome.
down your pants and show your ass and put your face on the floor.
Like, you kill yourself, but in a rude way. Like, nah, fuck you, man.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, I think that's enough Bloodborne talk. Ko, you've beaten it. Zeke, have you beaten it?
I have not. I'm pretty sure I'm really close.
Okay. Gassy, you're
yeah, I'm so close to beating it, man. You don't even know.
You're planning on beating it, though?
I will beat it. Yeah, I will.
Okay. I'm only... How many... Can I ask, Ko, how many bosses there are? Do you care about that, Zeke?
I'm pretty sure I know a roundabout anyways.
How many bosses are there, Ko?
Someone told me 44. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. It's like 17, I think.
I was gonna say 44. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
I'm about.
Maybe I won't beat it.
I guess I'm about halfway through. So.
Yeah, 17 sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then there's like 30 plus if you count all the Chalice Dungeons.
The Chalice Dungeons, yeah.
Okay, because someone was telling me like 35, and they would swear by that, and so now that makes sense because of all the Chalice Dungeons. So.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be streaming that. I think I might like take a quote break from it because it is like played out on Twitch. So
yeah, I mean, it was kind of nice in a way that I guess because it came out, I streamed it the one time, and then I went away for like almost a week, and part of me thinks that might be good. I think you might even said that or whatever, because it's like, I don't know, because everyone was streaming it, and there's still a lot of people streaming it. Yeah. And regardless, like, it's a game I'm gonna play regardless, just because I want to play it. I don't really care too much about it, and the viewers have been okay and stuff like that, but people don't typically, especially since this is my first time playing it, like, people don't go to my stream to watch how good I am at it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
no, they just watch this. They just go to your stream. How does a sexy man play this? All right.
Yeah, I know.
How sexy man
can he
plays Bloodborne. That should be your stream title. Sexy man plays Bloodborne.
Sexy man plays Bloodborne. Next time I play Bloodborne, sexy man plays Bloodborne, and then I'll put, I'll give you some credit or something like JP trademark or something.
No, because then everyone will think that JP is that I am the sexy man. You got
I will use it
leave
as a
my
quote.
name out of it.
I can just put it as a quote and then show you as a quote. Okay. One way or another, it'll be in the title.
Okay.
I'm sure you. Side note: I'm sure you probably get as sick of that, Gassy, as I get of is this guy retarded or autistic?
Of what?
Like, wow, Gassy's sexy. Zeke is retarded or autistic.
Well, I mean,
like,
because he's compliment. One of them is not.
I was gonna say that's not really the same.
They're not really comparable.
I think he's saying the frequency of it.
Repetition of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that may be a little. I don't know, but it's.
But see,
At the base level, it's a compliment.
Man, Zeke, I told you the roast were a bad idea. Like, your self-esteem has just been lowered
You
so
sound a
much.
little like you got some scar.
Cohh, what did you do to him? What did you do to him?
The Dark Souls suicide now that we talked about?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
I don't think you're autistic or stupid. Maybe a little. I don't know.
I suppose we should mention that because it does pertain to what you've been streaming, Zeke. You got roasted last Wednesday after Dropped Frames.
Yes.
How was that?
Oh my God, I could not have had a better time, and everybody, every single person in that roast came with fire, and I
guns
was
blazing, man.
Seriously, I was underprepared. I brought a fucking knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
Everybody just was slamming so hard. I held back. I wrote my jokes out. I was like, I better not say that. You know, I should have called you, JP, and said, like, should I write? And you would have been like, yes.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead, yes.
You know, that's what we had talked about is I didn't know what the line was going to be for the show. And I felt like you wrote things on the good side of the line. And then you have someone like Ello who just came in on the other fucking 2 miles from the line.
Oh,
Jesus
so
Christ.
good, though. That's what I wanted, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad they chose me as the first person to do it because, I mean, I've been doing comedy for many years, and I've dealt with lots and lots of hecklers. I can take it. I can take it more than probably anybody on Twitch. And quote me on that. But it was so gratifying that everybody is, especially Elohim, just hammered me, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. Cohh, I think you started your bit in like the intros. You just went on and Zeke.
Yeah.
None of the intro was planned. None of it. I didn't write any of it. I just kind of, like, Zeke, I think, said something back at the beginning just kind of as a joke, and I was just like, you know what? Okay, we're just right here. So I did the whole thing, and then during my actual segment, I had written, like, that 5 minutes before. Like, I didn't know. It was interesting because I'd never done a roast before. I didn't know really what to bring or what to expect. You know, I thought I was just going to go on and tell some stories and stuff. No big deal. I didn't really have a lot of prepared. And then I'm talking to Elohim beforehand, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I have like 15 minutes of material. I spent hours on this.
I got
like,
this set plan, man."
Yeah, really. So I'm like sitting there before the show, like trying to type this thing up, and that's what I read. I did that a little bit, but I gotta say, like, next time, oh man. Like it's good. It's good to see this because now this roast set the bar on Twitch. Like now we know how these can go. We know what we can do. We know that everyone's gonna laugh and have a good time at the end. So we can really kind of go. You know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Nice pull, ass.
Hey, man, it's 2 extremes. That's what polls are, man. That's how polls work. And you got to make hand motions like this.
I was telling JP before we started today. How many people were like, who should we go? Who should we do next? Who should we do next? Everybody was like, you gotta get JP.
I know.
Fuck that guy.
I think eventually I'll show up on there.
I know it's up to you. It'd be up to you who you want as someone who's going to roast you too. But I would love to.
I would
be
just
among
choose
that
like
crowd.
a bunch of like 100 viewer streamers that have like.
Where do I sign up?
It's
what are you
shitting
guys
on
gonna say about me?
Yeah, I guess he's an all right guy. I guess. Just
sometimes his beard looks weird.
Oh god, that'd be good. I think eventually I'll show up on there. I know you guys have some other people planned, and I think maybe I'll guest or what?
Yeah.
The roastee.
I
don't know what the term is, but
yeah, I might end up agreeing to be roasted and stuff may happen.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm interested to see. The thing is, like, if I get roasted, I'm really genuinely interested to see how fucking, like, what material they bring to just tear me apart. Because I'm the same, like I don't give a shit what you say. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. I think if it's a bunch of friends, I wouldn't care.
Exactly, friends. Yes, friends.
Yeah.
I guess that's the distinction to be made.
Yeah, like if someone came into my chat that was then used exactly what Ello said about me, I'd be like,
yeah, that's where it becomes like, not cool.
Does everyone think that way about me? Like, oh, shit.
Well, that's what a roast is. Like, you trust, like, these are your friends. Like, who else to pick you apart except for your friends? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Quick question, just as far as the bot goes. when they're doing the polls, do they have to type it out exactly as the bot says, or they just have to type yes? Or no?
Does it have to be like yes exclamation point?
The bot is not joining the other chats right now. I think it was banned, and I don't know. I unbanned it, but I don't know how to get it to rejoin. So right now the polls responses are only coming from my chat. That's not by design. It's meant to join everyone else's chat.
Oh wow. Okay, so all of us here in the main. Yeah, stream.
It's not joining Cohh's or Gassie's or Zeke's.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so no one needs to type anything in my chat then?
No. I mean, it's a way to judge, maybe, if people feel free to do that. But it's not actually interacting with the graphic on stream. And that'll be fixed next week. I think we're going to kind of overhaul it, but it's working.
It's cool. I mean, it looks cool, even though it doesn't work right, but it looks cool.
It's working right.
Bot, right?
It's itmeBot, yeah. It's just
it's cool.
It's not even in the chat on your stream. So, anyways, go watch the roast if you haven't.
Yeah, go watch it.
This may be a good time to mention this, just out of curiosity. And Zeke, I'd actually love to hear from this on you. So I woke up this morning and it's April Fool's, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about all the stuff going out there. And someone comes into the channel and is like, yeah, Sean left SKS, and I was like, oh yeah, funny, really funny April Fool's. And then he was like, no, dude, Sean left SKS. Well, and I'm sitting there like, but I love Sean. Like, what? I didn't see any announcements or highlights. Like, is there more information about that? I've been getting questions all day about this.
No, DP actually called me after the roast, and right after the roast, and he said, he told me, and I was like, oh wow, really? And he's like, yeah, he just wants Twitch isn't the thing for him. Is the gist, like the thing to take away from this is that he wanted to his career and his life and whatever he wants to do to go in a different direction that is not Twitch related. And there was no falling out, there was no big fight, there was no nothing like that. It's just it came to a point where it's like either this is what I do or I change now.
And that's I can understand that. I absolutely can get that. I talked with the DP a little bit too. He was just letting me know about that too. But same thing. I just asked him, I'm like, is everything cool, dude? I hope you guys are still, okay. And he's like, yeah, there's no falling out or anything. Yeah. It's just, he wasn't feeling it. And
it is not a joke. It's not April Fool's or anything like that. I think that's why they did that on the 31st rather than the 1st, because it's just fucking horrible timing.
Yeah.
And I know there's people out there. I bet you it's at least 50% of people are going, nah.
Yeah, these assholes are just trolling.
Yeah.
It's not
exactly.
It's really sad, actually.
Yeah. But again, totally understandable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They definitely left a legacy and have definitely raised a bar.
Let me stop you there. Sarkovic show is continuing. It's not done.
Oh, I know. I meant they as in him and DP. Like what they did and their content will definitely raise the bar on Twitch for that kind of stuff. They had a very unique and amazing show, and I'm sure Dan Paul's amazing by himself. I mean, and I'm sure he'll probably did Dan. Well, it's probably pretty early, but I'm sure he's making plans on how the show's going to go from here. But that's cool. Thank you for the heads up there. That's really good information, and I'm sure he'll be great at whatever he does do.
Yes, and he's going to go into the Sarkovic show. Name is still going to be there. It's still going to be DP. It's he's going to do all the stuff, like the roaster's still going. He's going to keep doing that. He's going to try and he's going to learn everything he needs to learn. I guess he's going to start from scratch and not totally scratch, obviously, but he's going to take the show in a new direction, maybe. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with.
Cool.
Yeah. I still think it'll be cool. He obviously has the support of a lot of really awesome people.
Oh yeah, and he's a great fucking genius.
Yeah, I told him to. He's like, I got to learn how to use OBS. I'm like, yeah, you'll get that no
that's
problem.
Exactly what I said.
It's not bad.
It's not that hard.
That's the little shit.
Finishing up what we've been streaming, Zeke. Yeah. Bloodborne, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah, Bloodborne. That's about it. I mean, I did the first day it came out. I did 24 hours and
you and Man went. Well, we talked about that last week, but you guys both went crazy.
Yeah. But it's been good to me as far as the game. I'm still loving the game. That's something I have to tell people. I have to stop in the middle of my cast every once in a while and go full screen and be like, guys, just want to let you know, that because even though I'm screaming and yelling and raging as loud and as hard as I can, it does not mean I'm not having fun still.
Right. I've said that a couple times too. Is people are like, "Oh, so salty, so upset." I'm like, I'm still enjoying the game. Like, there's a couple people like, "Why don't you just play something else?" I'm like, no.
We'll get to that in the topic of the week, but
Sure.
I think that kind of goes into that territory. But
it does. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Co, you've been kind of bouncing around, I think, between Bloodborne,
Dude,
Warships, and Pillars.
3 or 4 days ago, I did 4 hours of Bloodborne, 3 hours of World of Warships, and then 3 hours of Pillars of Eternity. I mean, you can't get more variety than that if you think about the genres. And that's
true.
like
Those
3
are completely
completely different audiences. Like, I'm surprised if anyone stayed the whole day. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of World of Warships lately. Still just getting pumped for Dreadnought on that. I now have both. Apparently, I'm behind on both the Borderlands and Game of Thrones Telltale, so I'm doing that. The DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition, I've heard great things about. Need to do that. And Pillars of Eternity, man. Oh my god,
You liking it?
Yeah, talk about that like
how far
however
are you?
much you want to, but I want to play it, will play it eventually. It was something that I got a preview of when I looked at stuff in Sweden with Paradox. But what do you think of it?
It's fantastic. It's a reimagining of Baldur's Gate with a good, 80% of the stuff that made it annoying and frustrating taken out. The UI has been completely revamped. The whole stash and inventory system has been reworked. Combat and movement is great. The only issue that I think some people are running into is unfortunately they are kind of doing what's referred to a lot of times in RPGs as skill delegation. So you get or relegation. It's getting to the point where like a few specific classes only do 1 or 2 things a fight, and that's it. Like that's all they do. And then you have these other classes that have all these options and mechanics and all this stuff. But outside of that, I'm playing on hard mode right now, second from the hardest difficulty, which is called Path of the Damned. It's a serious challenge. It's a really good time. The story's fantastic. Good voice acting when it happens. For some reason, the voice acting is only there like half the time.
I hate when
which is
games
very
do that.
odd. Yeah, and what's even stranger is, when I say half the time, I don't mean like some characters are voice acted and some aren't. I mean, I don't think I've seen one character yet that's fully voice acted. It's like every other scene will be voice acted. It's very strange. It's like
weird.
they acted just the main arc, and then all the flavor stuff is not voice acted. But outside of all that, it's still fantastic. If you're a Baldur's Gate fan, highly recommend it. And it's been a lot of fun so far.
Just realized that you and Zeke traded.
Oh
spots for
shit!
some
Does this
reason.
mean I have to say things like "I love your face" and shit? Oh no! Please.
Only if you
fixing it.
use literally in front of every content.
Oh, hey.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe that was just the graphics. I had to redo the graphics, but I'm just gonna blame it on Gassy joining the Skype call and reordering the names. So thanks, Gassy. Thanks.
You
Gassy, for
you
that.
fucked up my green screen. Everyone's like, Gassy, your
Oh, yeah.
green screen's
We didn't-
fucked up.
We didn't even set the green screen on here because you were fucking late to the sound check, Gassy.
Wasn't late to nothing. I never knocked on nobody.
I'm trying to run the show over here. I can't worry about your fucking green screen when you show up late. Anyways, what level are you right now in the game, Co? Does the leveling occur pretty quickly? Like I hit 3 and I played for 4 hours.
I'm about 20 hours in. I think my characters are between like 7 and 8ish.
Okay, so
about
it's
now.
kind of the D&D progression then, where it's
Kind of slows down, and levels start giving you some really sexy abilities. Like it gets to a point where you're deciding from things where every one of them is going to kind of change the way that character works in a lot of ways. So it's really cool. I love the class system in this game. They did a great job with that.
Yeah.
They did it like
What's
they
your
pretty
main
much
class?
reimagined everything from the ground up, which is pretty impressive if you think about how many kind of standard things they have in there.
What's your main class? Your main character?
I'm a death godlike barbarian.
Oh, is this you with the giant horn things? Is that
Yep.
your character? Okay.
That's not a helmet.
Death?
That's my actual
Yeah.
head. It's like a demon growth. It's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
you can play as like what are they called? What is that race called? Godlike? Yeah, and you can choose one of the 4 elements. He went with death, or not elements, but there's like 4
Like affinities.
realms, affinities. Yeah, that's probably
Oh,
the best way.
death, not death.
No, death. Yes.
Yeah. There's death, fire,
It's death, fire, nature, and
water. No,
water.
No, I
Something-
just pictured
Ice,
like
I don't know.
Ferrigno.
Ethereal, maybe.
ethereal. Yeah, I don't know. Who
What are you
knows?
saying, Z?
I just pictured you walking around like Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, like huge and deaf and.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's funny. He does. That game's supposed to be super long, so I think you're going to be playing it for a long time if you plan to finish it, Co. Do you plan to finish it on stream?
I do actually. I do plan on finishing it. It's kind of tough to stream. I think we talked about this on one of the last ones. Well, there's just so much text. I mean, when you're playing a game that's this story heavy, it leaves very little leeway for the streamer to kind of be the stream. Like, a lot of times people come to a stream to watch a streamer do crazy stuff or react to situations. When you're kind of reading for a good 40 to 50% of your entire stream, it really kind of cuts that out. I hate saying it. The viewership on Twitch for it's very poor.
Yeah,
but
I would imagine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I would.
But understandably, it's a multi-hour RPG, and if you're not invested in the story, if you don't have at least some idea about what's going on, it's like jumping in a television series halfway. No one does that. They always start from the beginning. And in that case, it'll be on your YouTube and not on your channel. So yeah, it's kind of a weird stream, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to check that out.
What's that?
You gonna check out Pillars on stream, or you gonna?
I will. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stream like through the entire game because that's a pretty big undertaking. I'll probably just kind of have like a cursory interest in it and stuff like that, and play it on my own time or whatever. But it is a game. That's the biggest thing. Is it's such a time sink.
Yeah.
I do YouTube as well as doing Twitch and stuff. So as much as I hate to admit it, like some games like Pillars, I'm not gonna be able to like focus the time that I otherwise would be able to if I just did Twitch. But I'm definitely gonna stream it a little bit just to play it, have some variety and stuff. I still like switching it up, and it definitely looks like a really cool game. So
yeah, looks like there's a lot of stuff there.
Just like I played. What was the other one that recently came out? Something Infinity was in its name. What
Divinity
was it?
Original Sin?
Divinity, not Infinity. Divinity Original Sin. Like I played that a bit. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I'm actually playing that right now off stream.
Yeah, that game's really long too.
It's super. That's what I'm saying. These games are meant to be super long. Like that's what people expect of them. So for me to like try to commit to streaming the entire game would be quite a large,
of course, undertaking.
I tried to play like during that the hour per game thing that we did it for the INTL thing. Play Baldur's Gate, and everybody is just they love Baldur's Gate. Boo. And I put around and I was like, man, do I need to give this another chance? Because everybody is just like, I didn't like it. And everybody's like, you didn't like it? How dare you?
That's what people say that about any game that's near and dear to their heart, though,
But in this case, they're absolutely right. How dare you not like Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
See, it's here on the show, too. It doesn't, there's no escaping it.
Yeah. We got JP the Fallout hater. We got Zeke the Baldur's Gate hater.
I think you could take away Fallout from that sentence and just JP the hater, and that would be a little bit more
JP the hater, yeah. He just loves to hate.
I do.
There's a reason #FuckJP exists. Like that's
true. Did you guys see that?
Let's talk about an earned title.
Let's talk about me a little bit more, guys. Did you see that on Ultra where FuckJP showed up in their little Twitter spam thing like 4 or 5 times?
I saw you tweet that out. I wasn't tuned in at the time, but I wish I was there.
It became a thing of like people were just spamming the hashtag Ultra Music or whatever Ultra Live, and then adding #FuckJP with just random other statements that they were trying to say. So, thanks for that. It's free marketing. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. They can figure out what.
There you go.
People are probably just like, why does everyone hate Japan? Like, why? They're such a great country. I don't understand.
I liked the meme that kind of came out of it, or some of them, where someone put like, hey Chris, we'll be at Applebee's at 6 if you're here. Like, and then everyone just copy pasted that and just kept putting that in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. Last week I talked about how I would never touch World of Warships. On Friday, I streamed World of Warships. It's about as boring as I thought it would be. But I enjoyed it, kind of. Like, I can see the allure to that game. It's very different than World of Tanks. But I
can understand why you didn't like it, though. Looking at these replays, you are terrible at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
I wouldn't like it. If I were you, I wouldn't like it much either.
What are you talking? You saw 5 seconds of a game that takes literally hours to complete.
It's clear you're terrible at this game.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not for you. I'm sold.
It's sold. It's not for me. I agree. I like the torpedoes. I think that's the most interesting thing is dodging torpedoes. That creates really cool moments. But apart from that,
the water looks nice.
Really fun. I was actually saying that today on stream. Destroyers, the little ships with the torpedoes, are probably the most fun to play. It's much more action. It speeds the whole game up, especially when you get in like the firefights and stuff.
Please tell me.
I know nothing about this game. I've just started seeing people stream it. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
Did you get up a few tiers at all, JP? Did you play that much?
So I played with Waffle and Sacriel, and we got to tier 3, and I was using the St. Louis, which is like the most broken ship according to Waffle and Sacriel.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's got a lot of cannons.
And I played 2 games with that. We had a really long match with a destroyer and the one that can send out the planes, the carrier. I guess. Mm-hmm. And then it was a warship and a carrier. And it was a 2v2 that lasted about probably 30 minutes after the regular game. And that was kind of cool to watch. Like, the destroyer was running around throwing torpedoes as best as he could, trying to hit everything. But I understand why people would like that game. It's got its funness, but it is very slow, at least to watch. I think it feels a lot more active when you're playing, which is kind of a weird thing to convey on a stream because you're so focused on like getting a shot lined up as well as lining your ship up so you can have the most shots available to you, with like on the side and stuff. But
it's very true. It's very true.
Tell me, there's a lot of people like playing this and going, "You sunk my battleship." Like, does everyone do that?
All the time. Every fight, at least once.
Okay, good.
Boy.
Yeah. I would
Because I'm not going to watch a stream of it. I just want to know if people are doing this.
Yeah.
I think the only way I would play that game is if it was like with other people that could tell me how to play the game. Because I feel like if I just tried it and went into, is it all just it is just all PvP, right?
You can play versus bots.
Or can you do?
You can play versus bots, but yeah. And this is definitely one of those games. It took me a good 3 to 5 hours to really understand like how to get hits most of the time if they're going straight, how to properly use the camera and locking and all that stuff. There's a lot, even though there's not a lot of controls, there's a lot of learning how to use your ship properly that really will, set some people to be much better than others once you get it down. And it's just a matter of learning the game.
Yeah.
I'm super surprised that you didn't take right to it, Max, because you love shitty water games like Depth. And
hey,
Depth is a fun game, all right? It is a fun game. I will maintain that forever.
What do you hate so much about Depth, Zeke? They told me when I was on there, they're just like, yeah, Zeke fucking hates this game.
JP played Depth with us, didn't you?
Yeah. I was really good at it.
Yeah. He had a lot of fun. He's a normal person who can enjoy games and stuff.
Are you saying I'm autistic or something?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. It all comes full circle.
Well, you're sexy.
Co, you're still playing more ships?
Got me.
Yeah.
Co, you're still playing and enjoying more ships?
Oh yeah. I was playing it today. There's it's still a lot of fun. Still having a really good time with it. It's a good Dreadnought fix for now.
Cool. Zeke, talk to you. Gassy, you were kind of away for the past.
Yeah, I was
7
away,
days.
so it's not the best. I don't have a whole lot to say that I was streaming other than what I streamed last night, which was Game of Thrones. Went episode 3 on that.
Is that good?
Episode 3 I enjoy all those anything Telltale puts out. I haven't touched what's it called? I haven't touched Borderlands or anything like that, but I've been told it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like super connected and know what's happening in the Borderlands like story and lore and all that to get it, to enjoy it, which is what I would imagine. But yeah, I played episode 3 of Game of Thrones last night. Something about dark sword in the dark or something. I don't know. I just called it dragons and shit.
Do you have to have watched the show? Because no one fucking reads books,
No,
man.
you don't have to have watched the show. They do a good job of inserting like happenings in the game, like in around pivotal like moments in the show.
Right.
But that's not the focus. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is happening, and then if you pay attention, you're like, oh, this is that time that happened in the show. So it's not like you will have like extra backstory and stuff like that, and insight to what's going on, and maybe that'll influence your decisions and stuff.
Right.
But you don't have to have watched the show. Like, there will be some spoilers in there, like about things that, like, if you plan on going back to watch the show, they definitely like I said, they put it in moments in the show that are pretty important. So if you don't want like specific moments spoiled for you if you plan on watching the show. Then maybe watch the show and
Gotcha.
play the game. But as far as like, you don't need to watch the show. If you don't care about the show, you can just play the game.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna. I opened up your VOD and started scrolling through, and I was like, well, that's a bunch of people dying that might be main characters, might not. I'm not going to show any of this. We'll just have Gassy talk. Because I know how people get with such a story-heavy game like that. So.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
through 2 episodes of the Game of Thrones Telltale game, and is it the third one that just came out?
Third one just came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I think what I really would like to do is just wait till all of them come out, because
That's what I do. Yeah.
I can't wait. I do that for television series. That's why I'm so glad Netflix just releases the entire fucking thing. I wish they would do that, because I'm behind the times on all of it, but it's so much more fulfilling when you get to do it all the way through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same way. Like, I still haven't played Walking Dead season 2, but the reason is because I was waiting for it to all come out.
Yeah.
And I need to play through all those.
I played the very first episode of Borderlands and Game of Thrones, and now I'm actually thinking about doing what Zeke just said. Like, I'm so behind on both of them now that I may just do the full thing.
It's hard to keep up with them, and plus, I just hate cliffhangers, and that's all that shit does.
Yeah.
Because can't you buy it? I don't know if you can, but can you buy them piecemeal to where, like, you buy episode 1 only, and then you can buy episode 2 if you want that? Or is it only, like, the package where you buy the full game, and then as it comes out, it just downloads?
You could do that with like the old Sam and Maxes, but I don't know if you can anymore.
Have they changed up the way that the purchasing goes for that? Because I haven't looked into it. I wait till it all comes out, and then it's usually on sale on like a Steam sale or something like that. I think I got Walking Dead season 2 for like $5 during a Steam sale or something like that, rather than the 25. People are saying in the chat you can. So.
What did you ask? I was actually looking at the chat. I was zoned out. What was the question?
Just
you
if
asked?
you can buy the different episodes separately, individually.
I don't see on Steam. If you look on Steam, for instance, Tales of the Borderland, the only option is $25.
You can do it on consoles, not PC. Maybe PC.
Yeah, I don't know if it. Yeah, I
only.
don't know about on Steam. On Steam, I think you just buy it. I don't think there is an option to just buy episode 1 or 2 or whatever.
I really liked The Wolf Among Us. That's probably been my favorite one so far.
I still haven't even finished that. I got like, I think I played 2 episodes or 3 episodes in or something like that, and now I kind of, like, to be honest, I got a little bored. Like, I was like, okay, when is it gonna pick up? And apparently it does pick up. Like, I would imagine it would, but I was just kind of, I was digging it. Don't get me wrong.
How many episodes did you play? First 2? 'Cause I think episode 3
okay,
it picks
it
up.
left off with
when let me get the spoiler guy.
Get that spoiler up.
Please commence.
Okay, so it left off where I left off was Bloody Mary or whatever, like fucked your shit up and then hopped in a limo.
Yep.
Is that? I think
that's
that's the end of season or episode 2. It's been a while since I played, and again I played.
Yeah, I didn't get super far in it. I don't know how many episodes there are. Is it just like 5 or something? Or?
There's 5, yeah. Zeke,
5,
you
yeah,
read
okay.
the books,
Cool,
but
5.
you're probably
thought-
going to that more so than the game.
Oh, I thought the game was wonderful, and I thought that, I mean, there were certain things in the game that weren't necessarily according to the rules of the rules set up by the books themselves, like Bigby, the big bad wolf, like standing by a door, not knowing if there's someone in there. When in the books, he's like, he can smell people across dimensions because he's the fucking wolf god kind of a thing.
Oh.
And there, there's certain things that were kind of meh, but honestly, I think they kept to the heart and the feeling of the series. And if you haven't read Fables, I suggest you do. It's a fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
series,
I
and
bought the entire book. I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, it's a wonderful book, wonderful series, and a very easy read.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved Wolf Among Us. I thought it was awesome.
I still plan on going through at some point and just finishing up. But my biggest thing was like at that point there's some cool stuff that happened, but I'm like, I was comparing it to like Walking Dead and like the way it scales with Walking Dead. Like every episode feels like super, 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 intense and whatever. I just thought there was a lot more downtime, and maybe, I mean, that was intentional too, I guess, because
Right.
it's not Walking Dead. It's something completely different. But I don't know. I'll still go back to it and go through it, because from what I've heard, it does pick up pretty well and some crazy stuff goes down. So
Before we jump to what we've been streaming, or what we've been watching rather, I checked out Axiom Verge last night. Have you guys heard about this game? It's on the PS4. It launched yesterday. you're immediately going to see it and think Metroid, like right off the bat.
I see Contra Metroid, yeah.
Contra Metroid, yeah. And that's kind of like the game is very much like that. It draws inspiration.
Looks like Mega Man.
Looks like Mega Man, yeah, a little bit, yeah. But it goes in some different directions than those games have, I guess. But it's very much in that style, right? Like there's a giant map grid. I think it's about 12 to 14 hours long. There's like 30 guns or something, and they all do crazy different things.
Yeah.
Bunch of people, review-wise, have said that's an absolutely fantastic game. I played about 2.5 hours last night. Definitely going to go back. Had a lot of fun with it. I think it's $20 on PS4 right now. It's called Axiom Verge. The one thing that I will say I don't like about the game is the audio in it. They went for like that NES or Super NES type sound where it was like they weren't good sounds, but they're like nostalgic sounds.
Yeah, right.
And they're really, really fucking loud in this, and almost to a point of an annoyance. And there's no way to change the sound effects within the game.
That kind of sucks.
I should also note that one guy made this entire game. It's one of those things. So that's
really?
it's super impressive to see how he like hit every note and kind of bringing back that nostalgia. You can see right there that they even have like the glitch in the thing where you're supposed to blow in the cartridge. That's part of the game as well. Like that is occurring for a reason, and you can do things with that.
Does it have like NES slowdown?
Not that I noticed. No, I did not notice that. But like right there, it actually was fucking with my eyes. You can kind of see the distortion in the bottom. But it's cool. Like you get different It has the Metroidvania thing where like you can jump a little higher now, or it has different traversal mechanics and stuff like that. So.
And that does mess with your eyes.
Yeah, it's
hard to look at.
It was pretty cool though. There's a bunch of reviews if you want to read more about it, or you can just pick it up on PSN. And then last night I got into. You guys don't care about this, and I don't really care too much about it. But I got into the StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void beta last night. And
tell me more about it.
The thing that interests you, that I think is actually really cool, is the Archon mode. So Archon mode, 2 people play one base, like one race. So it's like 2 people doing what one person could do if you were really good. Yeah. And I think that being in there is going to open up the game so much more to people that have always shied away from it because it's such like an intimidating game of like, oh, you got to have 200 APM to be able to play this game at a decent level, or else you're just going to be fucking trash. Now you can have 2 people playing one race, and they have matchmaking for that. It was a lot of fun. I was playing with Wheat last night, and obviously we both used to play a lot of StarCraft back in the day. And there were times where like I would spend minerals when he was trying to do something else, so it kind of created a team environment where you're talking with each other and trying to plan all that stuff out. Apart from that, it's still StarCraft, like through and through. There's not much has changed in that. There's new units and things like that, but the core game is still StarCraft. So you'll probably have seen a lot of people playing that on Twitch from the StarCraft world. Cool. That's the latest and greatest in that world. And with that, anything you guys have been watching in particular?
I just got a Wii U not too long ago for Shitface Saturday. I bought it like 10 minutes before Shitface Saturday started because they're like, we all like playing Wii games.
Yeah, they did
that.
We're
going to play Mario Kart. Yeah, we hadn't played it in a long while.
Zeke,
Mario
they did
Kart's
that
great.
shit to me, but it was with 3 games on Steam, so I spent $60, didn't play a single one.
Yes, we did. What games? What games? Tell me right
didn't
now.
Play
what games?
Speedrunners. We played Depth. We played Depth.
Okay.
And then there was you made me fucking buy Gary's mod. Oh
yeah,
let's play
too.
Yeah, I did. Oh wow, you can't spare the. Hold on, let me
Gary's mod. We'll play that on the stream. I was like, all right, Max.
Gary's mod goes for. Let me quickly look up how much Gary's mod goes for. Steam, why are you being dumb right now? I need you to not be dumb. Thank you.
So I'll be invoicing. And Zeke, you should do $10. We should both invoice Fucked Up Friday Incorporated at the end of the month.
Got it.
Yeah.
$10. You know what? Well, you'll still use that. You'll still eventually play speedrunners, and one day I will get you to play some sort of mode in Gary's mod. That's the reason I wanted you to get it too, because you guys don't play that kind of stuff, and I thought it'd be funny to.
I'm very familiar with what it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, all those game modes in there, they're all really accessible and like $10 for all the shit that you can play in there. I'm not going to talk about Gary's Mod. You guys know what Gary's Mod is.
I enjoyed Depth though. Depth was good. Zeke.
Depth is really fun, isn't it, Zeke?
Yeah.
You
Depth
see,
is great. I love it.
so
It's
good.
wonderful. It's divers going around on the floor of the ocean, getting gold and avoiding sharks, and then shooting sharks, and then you start over and do it again. God. Anyways,
it's divers with guns fighting sharks with sharp teeth and like being able to. How is that not fun? I don't understand.
That is kind of awesome by principle.
Like even just saying the description, like that just sounds badass, and it is.
Yep.
You were just too drunk to fucking play.
I live in
You're
Montana.
like,
There are no lakes or oceans like anywhere. Swimming is not something we do here.
Zeke, you were saying about the Wii U?
Yes, Wii U. So I recently bought a Wii U.
Fucking
Yeah. I was looking around for streams that were like, playing like Smash Brothers or Mario Kart and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been watching. I actually played a little bit with Mrs. Violence and Ms. Vixen. Played some Mario Kart with those guys, and two words always come to mind after I do that. One is fuck, and the other one is Mario Kart.
Really?
Oh my god!
Love-hate relationship?
I can't believe how like eons better than me people are. I didn't do better than 11th or 10th or 11th place in like 20 fucking races.
That's not last.
Ow.
You know?
Oh my god! But that's the thing. When I played on Shitface Saturday, I was getting like fourths. I was doing all right. I got a false sense of hope, and then I was like, I'm okay at this. No, I'm not. I'm the worst fucking Mario Karter in the world, except for the people who play with Gassy and Diction and Renee and those guys.
Yeah. I wish
ahead,
I could play that game more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play that game by myself, and
Yeah.
I don't want to play with people I know because I'll eventually, kind of like Zeke, just end up hating those people for that night, and so I just don't play it. But like every time I play that game, it's such a fucking good game.
It is. It's really fun.
So good.
Change that about yourself, and then we can just play that game together.
It's true.
And then we won't hate each
See,
other.
but you're gonna be like, "Hey, man, you want? So we should drink as well. It's a good
You wanna
show.
play some Mario Kart?
You want to drink?
Okay,
play
well,
some Mario Kart?"
referencing the Shitface Saturday that Zeke played with that and got his Wii, like, I got really drunk. So I was like really bad. Like I was finishing towards the end, like just 12th every time.
Oh god.
But it's fun. I still like that game. And the reason why we played it that night too is because we hadn't played it in so long and thought it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
It is a good game though. I enjoy it.
Zeke, have you picked up Donkey Kong yet for the Wii U?
I have not. There are games that I'm probably going to end up having like a Wii month
Yeah.
where I do like the Mario game that came with it, double new super awesome Mario, whatever the fuck Wii U ×2 game, whatever
Yeah.
it came with the system.
That's good.
And I'll probably play Zelda a little bit, and I'll probably pick up Donkey Kong. What is it, Tropical Freeze?
Yeah. Best game by far, at least in my opinion. It was my game of the year last year. I fucking love the shit out of that game.
Really? Okay.
Super challenging. The levels look amazing. It's a rage inducer though, like through and
Oh,
through.
and Bayonetta 2, yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't played Bayonetta 2. I didn't play Bayonetta 1 until I bought Bayonetta 2. So
Bayonetta 2 looks crazy. Those games to me, like it's just craziness.
just craziness.
I don't understand anything that's happening in those games.
Co, you been watching anyone in particular? Or any games
this
in
week,
particular?
mostly streaming. Watched a lot of people doing Bloodborne back when it first started, but yeah, just mostly streaming and sleeping.
Cool. Gassy, what about you? You watch any streams while you're traveling?
I watched in the airport. I watched a little bit of Pocket Hillary play some Guild Wars 2 and made me want to play some Guild Wars 2.
Is there an expansion out for that, or is it?
It's coming. It's coming soon. There's an expansion that's on its way. So a lot of people have been kind of just going back to it to like prepare for it or start a new character and get it full leveled up and all that. But I really miss that game. Just watching her play it, like I miss just exploring and grinding out and doing like different shit together with other people and like taking down bosses or whatever however you want to call them. They're not like proper bosses or whatever.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun. Some of the most fun I had in that game was just literally wandering around with people and stuff. So I might get back into it. I might do it.
Yeah,
I was
no
feeling
sub-feed,
it's such a
so
good looking game too, though. Like for what it is in an MMO,
Sure.
it's still like one of the best looking ones out there.
I would agree.
In that caliber.
I've had
Did
Final
you
Fantasy.
say you're watching Pocket?
Yeah, Pocket.
Okay, I just want to drop it in the chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 to scratch that itch. I hit max level a couple days ago.
Oh, we know you've been playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I don't stream it though, so how do you know that?
I thought you did. You're fucked
Oh,
up.
I guess
Friday,
we did stream it. Yeah.
Final Fantasy fucking
I guess we did
encroachment
stream it.
cast.
We did stream it. That's true. I'm gonna marry Strippin soon in game whenever he hits 50. So
Yeah, nice.
We're gonna have it's a 2-hour ceremony. If you want to join, it's 50,000. Or if you want to be in the ceremony, it's 50,000 gil in game. Please send all payment to me or Strippin in game.
I'd like to
I
be.
think I
Can I
still have
attend?
that
Do I
on
have-
my character. I think I still have that much.
You want to show up, Co? It's
I
literally
may
2
come to
hours
the wedding.
long. We have, and I don't know when the ceremony is going to be because you have to register on the site. You can't just
I mean,
go.
I can stream it, right?
I was gonna ask, would it be streamed? Are you streaming it?
We might make you guys sign a contract where me and Strippin can only stream it and no one else.
A press exclusive online wedding.
Yes. We're going the full mile with it.
Is it possible for me to make an account just to see the wedding, or do I have to like grind to a certain
level
level
one could just show up.
Yeah, could I be like the dirty peasant in the back?
Yeah, we could get you a little outfit, like a dirty peasant outfit. You could be.
I'll never be to another wedding like this. This is so fantastic.
I don't know how involved it is, but you could be a if they have like a. We could actually have you be we could just have you read the text on the screen. That could be your role.
I could do that. Yeah, I could officiate.
You've got the voice for it. I guess in terms of who else I've been watching, with Co, I've been watching a lot of Bloodborne streams. I enjoy watching people that are just starting it rather than people that are super deep in it, so I don't spoil it for myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone in particular. Right now, there's kind of been there's a lull in what's in games that are being streamed. Like there's not anything big. People are just kind of finishing stuff that came out the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next. Isn't there a big release next week?
I don't know. I'm ignorant of that kind of stuff. I should be on the ball with it. Like it stands to reason that I should be on top of what games are coming out, but I'm never actually on it. I get my news from other people talking about it on Twitter.
The Dark Souls 2 DLC comes out next week.
That's the whole package. That's the
Scholar of the
remastered
First Sin, yeah.
DX11, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but wasn't everybody like overall pretty disappointed with Dark Souls 2? So
No.
do you think there's going to be enough interest in that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. Yeah. I mean, I thought a lot of people were like
I think people were
hardcore into Dark Souls and stuff like that. Dark Souls 2 was kind of a letdown. But maybe I'm wrong.
I think one of the biggest issues right now, I think, has to do with the fact that they're reselling the same game with a DX upgrade for a new price. I think that's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. Most games, realistically, just update their game, right? They don't make you buy it again for just basically what is an update to the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably, and I think they're cutting a discount to the people who already own it. But even then, it's still like $20 or $30. It's kind of ridiculous because one could very easily argue it should have had that when it came out. So
right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I think
I'm still gonna play it.
I think I might have said it wrong there, but I think what people were saying was it was like of the Souls games, it was the worst one like that had come out according to a lot of people but it was still a decent game.
Yeah, it's debatable.
Definitely arguable. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's probably more. Not that it was a horrible game. Like that was me misspeaking and being ignorant of those games.
You gotta be careful, man. People will jump on your back.
I don't fucking care. Do it.
The week after that,
Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah, on the 14th is Mortal Kombat 10, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC, and Titan Souls, which really sucks for Titan Souls because it's just gonna get smushed under those two titles, especially on Twitch. I think I can name like 10 giant streamers that are going to be playing GTA 5 on the PC that are waiting for that religiously.
I probably will be, yeah.
It
saddens me because I've bought the game so many times.
If the servers work...
I've bought it 3 times.
If the servers work, like, it's going to be so fucking fun. It's going to be so fun to play that finally.
Yeah, that'll be the 4th time I've bought the game. You know, I still have it packaged in my... I bought it for Xbox One because my brother has it on Xbox One.
Just never played.
I bought it for 360. Bought it for PS4 because that was the one that everyone was playing on initially, and it was supposed to run better or whatever, you know. And then I bought it for Xbox One because my brother has it on Xbox One. That's still in the package, by the way. And now I'm going to buy it a fourth time for PC. So I am a complete consumer fuckhead. Like that is me. I'm not proud of any of it, but 4 times.
Mortal Kombat 10 should be good. They got a story in there.
It's Mortal Kombat X. I was corrected. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Whatever.
Same thing. It's a Roman numeral for 10. It's it's the 10th. Whatever.
That game looks really brutal. More so, and that's saying something for Mortal. Like as a Mortal Kombat game, that game looks really fucking brutal. They definitely have amped it up on that, so I'm super excited to see that. And then
I get a chance to take a look at it.
Oh, really? You're gonna be playing a little bit early?
Yeah. I actually get to go down to San Francisco on Friday.
Nice.
Oh, really?
On Saturday with Wheat and some of the boys.
Awesome stuff.
It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
You're gonna miss out, Cole. I
am gonna miss out.
We're gonna go straight.
I was supposed to go to that, but I have family stuff that I have to take care of, unfortunately. Yeah.
Is that gonna be on your channel, or is that gonna be on Twitch's channel, Zeke?
It's gonna be on one of the Twitch channels. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I will have it in just a second.
Gotcha. Cool. Saturday, you said?
Yes, Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you don't find it, we can get it in the shout-outs or something like that. And then Titan Souls, I hope that's good. It looks great at it looked great at PAX when I played it watched it played for about 30 minutes. Should be kind of cool seeing that. So that's
Titan Souls look like it looks like what happens if you were to take Bashi and slam it into Dark Souls.
Yeah, it does. It looks really cool.
It's difficult.
Oh, that's what Titan Souls is.
It looked really difficult at PAX. Like they were offering, I think I've said this on the show before, but they were offering $20 PSN gift cards for anyone that could kill a boss. And I don't know if they gave out very many there at the show.
Yeah.
So looks cool. It's on the PS4 and the Vita as well. So PS4 getting a lot of exclusives right now. Bloodborne, Axiom Verge, and Titan Souls in 2 weeks.
Titan Souls is on Steam too.
Is it? It only shows up. I'm looking at Giant Bomb's game list. It only says PS4.
No, it's on Steam. That's what I was just looking at.
Yeah, it's on Steam right now.
Gotcha.
When you said it, I couldn't remember exactly what Titan Souls was. I looked it up on Steam and saw the video.
Well, there you go. It's on PC too. It's still,
I am definitely going to be checking it out.
It's still
I'm
console
really
exclusive.
Yeah, it's still console
Yeah,
exclusive.
that stupid fucking term. Cool. Zeke, did you find the info yet? Can we go to a break? I think you said go to a break. I can
Go ahead, go to break.
Okay, cool. We'll take our break of the show, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the topic of the week. And I like how I haven't seen CohhTweet, but Zeke and Gassy have both skirted around the term depression. You guys have said other things.
Well, I don't want to.
I did. We mentioned it before. That
I know. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. I'll mention and I'll follow up probably with Zeke why we said not depression or whatever.
There you go. All right. We'll be right back, guys. Quick break, and then we'll come back and go into hour 2 right after this. More Drop Frames coming up in just a bit. We'll see you guys then.